Yes, we are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much.
Ready to elevate your IT career?
Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to what you need to know about Microsoft 365. I'm super excited to be here. DG, how about you? Are you excited to be here in the studio today?
Hi, Emmanuel. Hi, everyone. Of course, I'm very excited to be having this discussion on Copilot, and I can't wait for us to get into the conversation.
Awesome, awesome. All right, everyone. So, without taking much of our time, so if you're joining us on this program, maybe you're watching from YouTube or from LinkedIn, please feel free to drop in the chats your name, where you're joining us from, and what are your expectations for this event. We would like to actually, recognize the people that we have with us today, watching from YouTube, you're watching from LinkedIn, if you're watching from any of the YouTube channel, please kindly drop a comment, a chat. Let me see to know people that are with us today, so that we know how we can, welcome you into the studio. All right, so we'll just start straight. My name is Emmanuel Itoje. I'm a Microsoft MVPs in the Microsoft 365 category, and I'm also Olua Shegun Emmanuel. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. So my name is Emmanuel Itoje. Like I said, I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer. And my current role, actually an enterprise system engineer with InterSwitch, where I'm part of the workplace productivity to help our users in the organization to be more productive, bringing in the latest technology. And if I'm not working, this is something I like to do. I like to volunteer in community. I like to share my knowledge, and I'm passionate about volunteering for the community, sharing my knowledge. DG, I'll hand over the mic to you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, once again. So, like you can see on the screen, my name is Deji Omitola, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. And I currently work with Hashem Limited as a modern workplace solutions engineer. And what I do basically is to, help organizations to, deploy and manage their enterprise applications, particularly Microsoft, that they use. And I am once again glad to be on this session discussing the subject matter Copilot with you. So yeah, that's a bit of myself. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you so much, Gigi, for that introduction. Right. So from your experience, you've been in the Microsoft space for close to a decade right now, and you've been in the as a modern workplace engineer. I know one of your role, one of the things you do every day is to help users, organizations to be more productive by deploying modern works productivity tools. Now, Microsoft introduced Copilot into some of their products, and one of the products is a Microsoft 365. Now we now have Microsoft 365 Copilot. So, in your own experience, what is a Microsoft 365 Copilot?
Right. Well, again, let me start by saying thank you very much for um having this conversation with me. I know you are a very busy guy. You're my guy, so I know you have very busy schedule. So but I am so much excited to have this conversation. I mean, not just because we are having this conversation, but because I feel like it is such an interesting time to be alive right now, and particularly within the IT space, we've seen in the last couple of months, we've seen how AI is taking over different industries. How AI is helping to attain more productivity and more efficiencies. So I remember, I'm still going to come to your question, which is what is Coupa, but I just want to lay a solid foundation on the subject matter. So I remember back in 2022, late 2022, when the OpenAI was launched, that's the Chat GPT, and I made use of it for the first time. To be frank with you, I was quite surprised at what it could do, right? And then I thought, as a Microsoft 365 expert, I thought to do a deep dive into what AI is bringing to the table. So shortly after the OpenAI was launched, Microsoft introduced Copilot. So I said, "Oh wow, this is a good opportunity for me." Microsoft is what I do, so now Microsoft is introducing the generative AI solution, which is Copilot to the product. So I did a bit of study, and I found some interesting things. So to answer your question, right, what is Microsoft 365 Copilot? There are two. It's a phrase, and it consists of two words: Microsoft 365 and then Copilot. So let me start by defining what Copilot is, or saying what Copilot is. So Copilot is the compound name for Microsoft generative AI solution. Now, other organizations like Google and the OpenAI, they have their generative AI solution. For Google, it is the Gemini AI, and for OpenAI is the popular Chat GPT that everyone talks about. So, but for Microsoft, it is actually Copilot, and then you're going to see that we're talking about Copilot in Microsoft 365. That is to tell you that there is Copilot in other Microsoft solutions. There's Copilot within the Dynamics, that's Dynamics 365 Copilot. There is Copilot within the Power Automate and all of that. So there is Copilot in other Microsoft solutions. But Microsoft also thought of, oh, there's Microsoft 365. How about we bring in Copilot to the experience? And then you know what that did for us? That actually transformed the the level of productivity that users get when they make use of Microsoft 365. Remember, 365 is a productivity tool, right? And I've seen in several Microsoft articles and on online documentations that mention that about 90% of Microsoft 365 users do not actually make use of 10% of the features of Microsoft 365. So, I mean, people pay a lot to use Microsoft 365 and they are not actually utilizing it the more. So, Copilot helps to actually utilize most of the resources, if not all, within Microsoft 365. You get what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah.
Copilot in Microsoft 365, it consists of, there are four major elements within Copilot for Microsoft 365. And the first is the Microsoft Graph. The Microsoft Graph is what it is simply the interconnection of every services within the Microsoft 365. That's your chat items, your Teams, your Outlook, your emails, and all of that. Your SharePoint, your OneDrive. It is a interconnection of everything that happens in your Microsoft Drive. So Copilot depends on that. One, that's I'm talking about Copilot for 365 now. And then it also consists of the Microsoft 365 apps. That is, what as end user you're going to interact with the most. And the fourth one is, the web. The web. So Copilot also relies on the internet to get some information. When you're using Copilot within your 365 applications, you might actually need some information that is not necessarily seated in your organization. So Copilot helps you to also search the web and provide those information. And the last one is the large language model, which is what I would say what does the magic actually. It is what helps Copilot to understand what you're saying as the end user. It is what helps Copilot to interpret what you're saying and then be able to generate a response to you. So Copilot makes of these four components, and then it is what helps us to see what we have today. So that's yeah. So I think I'll just say for now that is what Copilot for Microsoft 365 helps us to do. It helps us to simply navigate around our Microsoft 365 environment, and then gives us information that you know that we need to make certain decisions. It helps us to make certain decisions within our environment. So that's
Awesome.
it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I hear you. If I want to summarize everything you said, you meant that Copilot for Microsoft 365 is an AI powered productivity tool that uses the large language models, and it integrates your data with the Microsoft Graph and also the Microsoft 365 apps and services. And it works alongside with the popular Microsoft 365 apps that we have, such as the Word, the Excel, the PowerPoint, even the Outlook. And Copilot also provide a kind of a real-time intelligent assistant, enabling users to enhance their creativity, their productivity, and their skills. Thank you so much for that introduction of Microsoft 365 Copilot. So I would like to ask again, you in your discussion, you mentioned other AI tool like the Gemini and the likes from the Google. How is Microsoft 365 Copilot different from other AI tools?
Right. So thank you very much for that question. So the Copilot, like I said earlier, is a generative AI solution, and then we have others like the Chat GPT, the OpenAI Chat GPT, and the Gemini AI. So um, the way it's different, or the way you relate it, they are all generative AI. You give them prompts, and then they give you a response based on the information they have. Now, there was a time I tried something with the Gemini AI, and that is, I gave it a YouTube link, and then I told it to summarize the video. It's about 2 hours video, and it did. That was amazing, And for Copilot, when you do that, when you put a YouTube link, it might not give you that information because YouTube is not sitting with Microsoft. It is actually sitting with Google. So I also tried on Copilot, which I'm sure we're going to maybe demo that today. I tried to put in a Microsoft Learn URL in Copilot, and I told it to create a presentation for me from that, and it was able to do that. So it boils down to what is the source of data that the AI has, and then it's going to, because it's basically use the data it has is what will determine the answer or the response that you're going to get from it. I hope you get that.
Yeah, I do. I do. Awesome. So awesome. So I hear you. For the Copilot is able to bring in generative answers from URLs, from other links, and it creates things for you. I mean, I'm looking forward to the demo, how to see how that actually works. Another question that comes to mind is this: organization will be
So,
like Microsoft 365 Copilot.
sorry,
What are the
Emmanuel,
benefits? Oh,
let me just permit me to add something before we
okay.
go to the next question. So there is, I've had the opportunity to speak with different organizations that wants to try Copilot or they want to use Copilot for 365, and I discovered that there are people have different expectations from of Copilot, and I wonder if you know we actually understand what these tools they're supposed to do for us. So one thing I love about Microsoft, you are also a Microsoft expert, and I am sure you understand what I'm talking about. Most of Microsoft tools, um, you know, especially within the 365, from the name you can actually tell what it does. Take for instance Copilot. When you say Copilot, and then now forget about Copilot as an AI now. So when I say for instance, I am the pilot, and then I have to fly you from Lagos to London, and then you are the co-pilot. That is, you're going to be in the plane with me, So what that means is that I am still the actual pilot. You are just an assistant. So co-pilot as it is not supposed to actually do everything for us. It is supposed to assist us. It is supposed to help to attain or to achieve what you're supposed to achieve. And I've discovered that co-pilot as it is actually it helps. Co-pilot as it is, it helps us as individuals, or as if you're a technology leader, or if you're an individual, it helps to achieve what will naturally take you a lot of time to do. It helps you to do it within a short period of time. And now what I mean is, for instance, I'm trying to write a proposal. I'm trying to write a proposal, and I've never written a proposal in my life. I don't know anything. I'm just a tech guru. I don't have good writing skills. Copilots would help me if I'm actually going to say, "Oh, let me sit down and start making research on how to write proposal." I'll probably spend a day or two, trying to do that. But with Copilot, I can actually Copilot can help me to achieve that pretty fast. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm actually going to give my personal definition of Copilot for 365, I'll say it is my personal assistant that helps me to do what naturally I can do, but will take me a lot of time to do, you know, and then it helps me to do it within a short period of time. So that's it, Emmanuel.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, still talking about some of the important. Do you want to elaborate on some of the other important of Copilot from your experience using the solution? How has it helped you to be more productive as an engineer, as an administrator, even as an end user?
Right. I think I'll just ride on where I stopped in my last answer, and that is Copilot has helped to transform productivity. It's, as a matter of fact, increased productivity. That's quadrupled productivity. Like the example I gave the other time, I want to write a document. I want to write a proposal. You know, on a normal day, I might take hours or minutes, 30 minutes trying to draft a document or draft a proposal. But with Copilot, I can actually do that within 5 minutes. Copilot will give me something. All I just need to do is to read through and modify some key points. and modify some key points. So Copilot as it is has quadruple productivity and efficiency. Efficiency in the sense that, when you're doing something, for instance, you're trying to write emails, Copilot will most likely construct a very correct combination of tenses and sentences, unlike users wanting to do that by themselves. And now, this is not to say that that is downplaying that people cannot write emails or can do something by themselves. But I'm saying that naturally, if you're going to do something perfectly, it might take you a lot of time, except you are an expert or that is your area of specialization. But you don't expect, if I'm an IT expert, or what I know is, managing several programs within the IT space. I am not, an art student. I didn't study art, so I may not be very good at writing, which is okay. But Copilot as it is, it helps you. It makes you look professional, regardless of your area of specialization. So you see someone who is not a writer, or who is not a professional writer, who has never written anything before, drafting content, and then because of Copilot will assist you to get those things, and then you're able to put it out there.
Awesome, Deji. Copilot can help me to be more productive. It can help me to
Yeah,
write, even if I don't even know how to write. If I don't even know how to speak English, so if I can type one or two phrases, Copilot can help me to drag
absolutely.
out
Yeah.
a professional answer.
So you can see it
Awesome,
has actually improved productivity more than times four, honestly.
awesome. Now, I wanted to ask another question, talking about writing. Now we know that Copilot is a generative AI, right? It's bringing out content for me based on the prompts that I actually have, based on the questions I asked. It's bringing out an answer for me. Can I trust that every answer that Copilot provide? Can I trust them to be always accurate?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. So, um, yeah, so like I said earlier, I've had this conversation with some of our customers that wants to, try Copilot for 365, and they ask this type of questions. So it is important to note, just like I said earlier, Copilot is your assistant. It is not, you're not supposed to say, "Oh, my assistant is what now takes charge while me I wait." No, you're still in charge. Your assistant just does most of the complex tasks for you, and then you have the sole decision to make use of it. Like you're going to be seeing it today. When you type email, when you say Copilot should generate an email for you regarding, maybe you reference some old emails and it generates it for you. You have the option to say use this particular use this particular key that was generated for you. And if you select that and then you say send, it's still definitely going to ask you that, hey, have you cross-checked those things? Because I am an AI. You don't have to say, oh, because I am you're using an AI, you should trust exactly everything it says. Remember, it also fetches information from you from the internet or from different sources. And from the name itself, artificial intelligence, it is mimicking human intelligence. So if human beings can make mistakes, I mean, I see no reason why we should expect model that mimics human intelligence not to make mistakes. So oftentimes you can actually trust what Copilot is saying, but you're not supposed to say, "Oh, because you trust it, you're not going to review whatever response or whatever answer it gives you." You are still supposed to double check and ensure that the information you're getting is actually what you need before you make use of it. Thank
Awesome,
you.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, so before we jump into the demo, I would like to ask, okay, how can users, organization, get access to this M365 Copilots. What's that? And like the licensing availability for it? Is it a licensing model, or how is it? How can I get access to it?
Sure, yeah. There is actually, it comes at a cost. Actually, it is not free. Um, so there are three categories for Copilot. So there is a general Copilot, which you can access by going to copilot.microsoft.com on your browser, and that requires that you sign in with your personal account. So when you use that, what you're going to get is not different from what you're going to get when you use the chat GPT, the OpenAI chat GPT. So that is basically free. What it gives you is information available on the internet and information that Copilot has been trained to understand. That is the first part. Now there is the Copilot within 365, the one we're talking about. That comes at the cost of $30 a month per user. And the sad part of it is that Microsoft currently doesn't allow you to pay for a month, so you have to pay for um, you have to pay for a year. You need to make an annual commitment to that. So that is for Copilot for Microsoft 365. And on the other hand, there is the Copilot Pro. So the Copilot Pro is a Copilot that you can make use of, but this time around it is not necessarily in your enterprise space. And what it gives you is basically the features that you get when you use the applications. That's the Word, the Excel, and the PowerPoint. You can have the experience of the free Copilot, and then you can also have the experience of the Copilot that you get, the Copilot on the productivity apps like the Microsoft Word. You'll be able to make use of it in PowerPoint, you can generate slides, you'll be able to make use of it in Excel, and all of that. So there are three categories: the free one, the Copilot Pro. The Copilot Pro comes at $20 per month per user, and then the Copilot for 365 is $30 per month per user, and you need to make an annual commitment to that.
Awesome, DJ. Awesome. So, do you want to go into the demo, or Solomon? Thank you so much for joining the studio. Thanks for
Hi,
joining the
Solomon.
conversation.
Thank you for joining us
It's good to have you.
on
Hi,
this. Good to
Emmanuel.
have
I was
you.
Awesome. Do you want to contribute to the conversation so far before did you jump into the demo?
So basically, I don't really have much to say, so I don't take time. But when we are talking about Copilot and productivity, I would say like there's a lot that have happened within the space of like 1 year. And now the idea is if we are also looking at the Copilot, I know some people would also be talking about Copilot in terms of like, having M365 and subscribing for it. But for me, I think Copilot, when we're using Edge browser, Bing, right? You can now use Copilot there, and it's also on my Windows 11 computer. I have Copilot there as well. So even, generally previously we just, when we want to search for stuff on the web, we just go and search. But now, when I tend to use Edge, it's more like you're having a conversation, you're getting more details about what you're actually searching for. It's not like before we just search and then you start opening multiple links to say, okay, is this one okay for me? Is this one okay for me? But using Edge, you can just go to Copilot. You can, like you said, if you probably, want to learn stuff or you want Copilot to help you, you don't need to fully depend on it. So for me, I always tell people, instead of giving Copilot a task to do, I'll rather perform the task the best I can. Then I can, tell Copilot, can you help me review or look at this? Example can be, I just write maybe an email and I'm telling Copilot, can you help me just check for grammatic errors on this particular email? And Copilot will do the cleaning for you. And even after the cleaning, you still have to probably still say, okay,
Do the
let me
recleaning again.
exactly let me look at what I am getting from Copilot. But generally, I would say it has actually helped improve the way we do things, productivity. Looking at it in PowerPoint, you can now create a slide, like just say, hey, can you create a slide for me? And you're already getting templates that you can work on. You can also use Teams with Copilot, use Word and all of that. For me, I think that's actually a great improvement in productivity.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Solomon. Thank you.
Thank you, Solomon, for
So,
that contribution. And you can jump into the demo. Let's see how this works
oh,
in real
okay,
time.
yes. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Just a moment. Mhm. All right. Okay. So can you see my screen? Just confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. Yeah.
I can see us,
All
right?
right. Okay. So now when you sign into your 365, that's if you already have the Copilot license. So what you're going to notice differently is when I sign into my office portal, on the left pane here, I'm going to have this Copilot, logo, this Copilot symbol. So if you don't have the Copilot for 365, you're not going to see this. You might most likely be seeing it on the Edge browser, like Solomon mentioned, or somewhere down here on my PC. What this will give you is, the general information on the public domain and the information that Copilot has been trained to be able to understand and give feedback on. But within the productivity space, if you have the Copilot license, you're going to see this. And let me just click on this, and then you see what I'm talking about. So I'm still going to show us how it works within different other applications like Word or emails and all of that. So it will require me to re-authenticate, and then I just click on that. Okay, so here's Copilot now. Here's my friend. So I can ask it anything. So I want to start by asking, maybe um is there an email I'm yet to respond to, or is there a pending item, a pending task on me? Let me see. So I can just type something like uh, how many emails am I yet to respond to this week? You know, so what it's doing now is searching within the Microsoft Graph, goes into my mailbox, and then see, oh, what are the things that is pending on me. So you can see this. You have few emails pending your response this week. An email from Itoje regarding Copilot discussion. Send this afternoon where you asked to reschedule meeting. So I haven't responded to that. And then there's an email from my personal email account that I sent on Tuesday. Um, Tuesday evening, acknowledging sponsorship requests and stating that they will get back to you soon. So these are things that I'm yet to respond to. You can see, isn't this amazing? So normally, like I said, these are things that naturally you can do, but if you want to do it, it's probably going to take a lot of your time. It's going to take a lot of your time because, this demo I'm showing us right now, this environment is not a live environment. So yeah, that's probably why you're not seeing much email. But for instance, in my work environment, you see people have up to 500 unread messages, up to 200 unread emails. It's normal. I mean, because maybe you think some of those emails are not really your concern, but with Copilot, it can help you to scan through all of those emails and tell you the ones that requires your attention. So that is a very good one for that. So let me start. I'm going to show us the experience on Outlook, on Word, and on PowerPoint before we continue the conversation. So this is my email, for instance. So this is my email, and then you can see these are the emails that I am yet to respond to this week. It shows that it is on red. So just a moment, it's loading up. Okay, so these are the emails I'm yet to respond. So what you notice that on the top right corner of my screen, I have the Copilot logo, the Copilot symbol here. So one thing you should look out for, if you have Copilot, just look out for the Copilot logo anywhere on your screen, and then you can be able to use it. So when I click on this, I can click on this to actually ask questions about my email in general. But if I want to use Copilot with respect to this email or to reply, if I click on the reply icon, I'm meant to see. Okay, so if I click on reply back, you see draft with Copilot on the bottom here, So when I click on this custom, so there are suggestions that, oh, okay, I should apologize for inconvenience, but I want to click on the custom one. So what I want to tell Emmanuel is that, all right, just let me know when it's convenient for you. So I say, okay, I say, please do it to make the time work. So please with OJ to make the time work. That is what I want to do. So I'm just going to click on generate here, and then it's generating a good response for you. So you can see what it gave me. I really hope you can make an effort to attend the Copilot discussion at 4 p.m. The CEO has specifically requested this time, and it's very important to the success of this project. Your input and presence will be greatly valued. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to make you to help you make it work. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. So one thing you should also know is that it's also, rely on our past conversation. In my previous email, I've already mentioned that, oh, my CEO is interested in this, and then that is why it's still referencing it. So I'm telling you that I should plead with it to make that time work, because initially he has told me that 4 p.m. will not be possible from the mail trail. So now I've been able to generate, so I have the option to keep this and use it. So I decided I use it, and then I'm just going to click on send. So you notice something now. See this, you can see. So it tells me that this is an AI generated content and it may be incorrect. So be sure to check the message before sending it. So there is a disclaimer here that, oh, I didn't write this. AI wrote it for me. Copilot wrote it for me. So I need to read it and make sure that the response, really it shows the real meaning of what I'm trying to say. So once I read it and I say, oh, this is fine, but I feel like I need to really delete some things, I can modify it. And then once I'm done, I click on submit. I click on send rather. Click on send. So that is an example of how you can use it to generate reply. And then when you come here on the top right corner, you're going to see, you can ask Copilot anything within your email. So here I'm going to ask, say, I want to ask that, okay, how many, okay, so let me ask, what is the summary of my conversation with yes, what is the summary of my email with Again, yes. So once I click on this, it search for all my email with again, yeah, and then it will tell me the summary. You can see, here's the summary of your email conversation with Ogene Itoje. You sent a reminder about Copilot's discussion scheduled for 4 p.m. today, and then it gives me. So, if I'm too, maybe I don't have the time to read all of this, I just say, oh, just give me a one-line sentence, one sentence summary. So I just say, give me one sentence summary, and then it's going to summarize everything. And then I have a short summary this time around. And I understand that, oh, everything that we've been discussing with Emmanuel earlier today or from this week has been about, Copilot discussion scheduled for 4 p.m. today. So this is an example. This is just one out of many, many instances that you can make use of Copilot within Microsoft 365. So going on, I would want to use I want to show us an example on the Word, Microsoft Word. So my Microsoft Word is loading up right now. Okay. So I want to start a blank document and I need Copilot to assist me. So what I want to do is I want to write a proposal to Lagos State government, or let me say Lagos State government, and then my proposal is going to be, about teaching cloud computing in secondary schools. So let's see how Copilot can help me. So if I'm going to do this naturally, remember, I would spend a lot of time researching the internet, proofreading what I've written and all of that. But Copilot does the magic for me. So again, look out for the Copilot symbol. Here is it. I will just say, okay. All right. So write a proposal to the Lagos State on teaching computing. Okay, so here's my prompt. I say write a proposal to the Lagos State government on teaching cloud computing in secondary school. So that's what I want to write proposal to the government. So I just say generate. So let's see what Copilot will give me. Okay, so you can see this. You can see there's an introduction to cloud computing. It helps me to generate, and then there's an objective. There is benefits of teaching cloud computing to the students. It gives a curriculum, that we're going to cover. And then I have just three pages. So I can tell you that, oh, I need more, or I need up to 10 pages documents. So I can just say, I need up to 10-page document. So let's see what this will give us. So when I click on generate, it's going to regenerate it for me. And then sure, it should have up to 10 page. So it is not for me to say, oh, Copilot has generated something for me, then I just, save as and then I send it out. I am supposed to, go through it, read, and then make sure it's really aligned with what I want the Lagos State government to do, or what I want us to do together. So you can see it's still generating. So once it is done generating, all I need to do is go and proofread, make modifications as much as I want, and then I can send it out to the government. So that is another instance. If I'm going to do this, it will take a lot of my time. Now, this is perhaps the one I like so much, which is for PowerPoint. Copilot in PowerPoint. So I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people are not very skilled in making presentation, and this I think I'm actually talking to myself. Using PowerPoint to make presentation is a nightmare for some people. So if you have Copilot within your 365, you need not to worry again. All you just need to do is tell Copilot to write or create a slide for you. So we're going to see now. So it is also important to mention that Copilot for PowerPoint, it makes use of the internet. You need to have internet connectivity so that it can pull in pictures from the internet. So it doesn't have to, depend on pictures on your local computer alone. You can get pictures from the internet and picks all the information from the internet. So I have a blank presentation, like you can see. Again, look out for the Copilot logo. So here's the Copilot logo. So what I click on it, I tell it to help me with the presentation. Okay. Okay, so I see create a presentation about Nigeria. Create a presentation about Nigeria. So I'm assuming that I want to go for a conference, maybe Independence Day celebration, and I need to talk about Nigeria. I don't know what to say, so I want Copilot to help me. So when I click on this, let's see what happens. So it's generating, looking for things around. We're almost there.
Hi, Deji.
And yes,
Can you hear me? I wanted, can we try to probably say
yes, I'm with you.
Copilot should create a presentation about Copilot. How is the presentation going to
Oh,
look like?
sure. I will do that. I will do that. I can do that.
Okay.
We're going to try that after this now. So this is still trying to fetch information. Remember, because it's obviously going to search for pictures and images, it might take some time. Okay, see what I have at the end of it. See what I have. This is my slide. This is my slide. Presentation overview talks about the graphical features of Nigeria, land of diversity, you know. So this is amazing. I am very sure if I am to make this presentation, by now I'm not done with the first slide yet, but with Copilot, it gives me something. So all I just need to do is read through, modify as much as I want, and then I'm ready for my presentation. So let me say, Copilot, make me a presentation about Copilot. All right, so let's see what this gives us. Okay. Okay, so it will clear out the existing one. So I agree that I should clear out the existing one. So we're going to see that pretty short. Okay, and then we have it ready. Okay, so here you can see Copilot, your AI pair programmer. And then I have introduction to Copilot. I have the features of Copilot. I have information I can work with. This is just a 5 slides. So I can ask it to regenerate or ask it to change few things for me, or give me another set of answers completely. You get what I'm saying? So Copilot, I mean, for me, is a game changer in terms of increasing productivity for users, and also ensuring that they are very efficient in what they do. So let me allow me to show one more example. So I want to make a slide
Hey, DG, can
on,
you take one
let me
question
see.
before? Can you take one question before you go? Show the example.
Okay, so there's a question. All
Yeah. So
right, let's have.
Franca is asking that what is the difference between the Copilot in Edge, that's the Edge browser, and the one in the Microsoft Office applications?
All right, so the one in Edge is the regular Copilot. That is the regular Copilot that is not integrated into your Microsoft 365 Enterprise tools. It is not so different from the general open AI ChatGPT. So it is just the free AI version of the free Copilot. So it is always in Edge, and also at times you see it on the Windows search button on the bottom of your screen. So what it gives you is basically information in the public domain and information that has been trained to understand. That is what it gives you. But the one in 365, have access to your enterprise information, like your emails, your documents in your SharePoint library, your documents in your OneDrive and all of that. But the one in Edge is personal. Basically, as a matter of fact, you access it with your personal Microsoft account. But the one in Copilot, the one in 365, you're going to access it with your work or school account, and which will give you information. You can access information about your enterprise environment. But the one in Edge will only give you access to information available on the internet and the ones that it has been trained to understand. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, so if I'll summarize the answer, the one for the Edge browser, which is also available on Windows 11, is a free version called the Microsoft Copilot. You have access to use it to browse things on the internet, while the Microsoft 365 Copilot is available with the Office applications with your business account. So I hope that answer your questions, Franca. Then Olayinka is also asking the question. You say, please, what license do you have from the admin center? I am aware that there is no trial in the admin center.
Right.
So I think, yeah,
So
okay, thank you, Franca.
I mean, I don't know. Emmanuel, I remember we had this conversation some times ago that, oh, why is Microsoft not giving out a trial for Copilot? Unfortunately, as of now, there is no trial for the Microsoft 365 Copilot. So what you have, the cost is $30 per user per month, and then you need to make an annual commitment to that. That you have to pay for at least a year. So there is no trial. There's no trial for it, and the license to have access to this feature is simply Copilot from Microsoft 365. On the admin center, we're going to see that when you go to your license, the same way you purchase other licenses, that's the same way you're going to purchase your Copilot license. So you can purchase for as many users as you want, and then you assign to whoever is going to use it. So in your organization, if you have up to 100 users, and maybe it's just the executive or the top management staff that want to use it, say 10, you can get 10 of it and assign it to them, and they will be able to do all of what I've been showing us since the beginning of this session.
Awesome. I mean, we can proceed with the demo. No more questions for now.
Okay, so I was going to show us on PowerPoint that I can also, pick a Microsoft documentation or Microsoft Learn profile. Let me share my screen again. Sorry. Okay. All right. So um so I can say, for instance, I was let's say I was making some research, and then I found this Microsoft Learn page, and then I'm interested in making a presentation about it. Prepare your organization for Copilot for Microsoft 365. So I thought I should do a presentation out of all of this. So I can just come to my PowerPoint, and then I ask Copilot to make a presentation on from. So I just put in the URL, you know, once I put in the URL, and then I hit enter. So it will go into that particular URL for me, scan the content, and then to generate for me a slide that I can use. So let me click on yes now. Okay. Uh,
So for that, I
Entry.
noticed that I think some limitations around there because sometimes it produces
Oh,
right. I've actually tried it with several links that I was getting the same error to today earlier. So it's
oh wow,
possible that there is an issue.
that's true, because I have actually tried this a number of times, and it's worked. Well, we're going to look into that, as to probably there are some restrictions to use that. All right, um that is that for. So I showed us demo around the web version. So if you're making use of desktop application, you can also have the experience of Copilot from there. So that's pretty much on the demo. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank, thank you so much, TJ. Thank you so much. Hi, Joshua. Thank you very much for joining us today. Come on, can you say something to our audience?
Hello, Joshua.
Hi
How are you
everyone.
doing?
Hi
Good to have
DG.
you.
Hi Solomon. Hi
Hi,
Emmanuel.
Joshua.
Yeah, good to be here.
Hi.
So
How is the conversation so far? Yeah, Solomon, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just asking, it's like I'm being kept on the spotlight.
I did that intentionally, actually.
Oh my.
Awesome. All right. So I would like to ask another concerns that users we have, right? Another concerns users we have around this Copilot stuff, around security and compliance, right? So you hear users saying things around how will Microsoft 365 Copilots handle and protect my sensitive data and information, knowing that these data are organization data. For example, now in some industries, for example, let's say in the healthcare, for example, you cannot expose patients' data, right? And yet, some of the users will want to use Copilot to improve their productivity. And also in some industries like in the banking sectors or the fintech, where we cannot expose PII, card details and all that. So how is Microsoft 365 handle and protect sensitive data? I don't know. Who wants to go? Joshua, do you want to go? Or Solomon, anyone?
Well, let me start. Allow me to start
Okay.
first of all. So I think this question, I was having it with a colleague of mine sometimes ago, when we were just curious about this thing, and then he says, "Oh, what if I have Copilot license, and then I type in a prompt, oh, what's the salary of my CEO, and then he's expecting it to go into the SharePoint directory, maybe of HR or the finance department, that's pulling the information for me." So initially I said, wow, this is a good question. But guess what? I discovered that the only information you're going to get on Copilot is the information that you originally have access to. So if there is no document or there's no email that has shown the salary of anybody, or some private information to you that has been sent to you directly, you're not going to get that information. If there is any information that you do not have access to, either in SharePoint or in OneDrive, that you don't have access to, when you make a prompt, I've actually tried this, and it will never work. So Microsoft is very conscious of security in that aspect, and I think that that's a very good one. They've ensured that when you're using the AI tool, what you get is only what you have access to naturally. And remember, at the beginning of this session, I mentioned that Copilot is all about what you can do, but we maybe take some time for you to do. Then Copilot helps you to do it faster. So if, for instance, instead of going to your SharePoint library and searching for some document, for some information, if you put it on Copilot, Copilot does the search for you and give you the information. But if you do not have access to that information normally, you're not going to get the answer. So that's it.
Awesome, Deji. Awesome. Solomon, do you want to contribute to that?
Yes, so for me, basically, what I would say is when we are looking at M365 as a whole and probably the Azure, we know we have solutions that the security solutions like the Defender, we have the Sentinel and all of that. And those solutions, they are as well integrated with Copilot. And also when we are also talking about security, right? We also have what we call access, like Deji spoke about. There are some stuff that even you as a user in an organization, you don't have access to. So for Copilot, we also have all of this built on Copilot. And if we probably even extend it to maybe using the Copilot Studio, where we probably take websites to, create a chatbot, or probably we are using SharePoint, you can as well still go to your settings and adjust what you want. If you probably have the Copilot, within your organization document, you can also set up authentication that for somebody to probably access this chatbot, they need to authenticate. So there are also like security solutions that are integrated to Copilot, and also there are also limits to the kind of data that you will be getting when you're also using the Copilot. You can also, configure all of that when you're setting up Copilot for your organization.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Solomon, for that. Joshua, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I think I would say I would like to modify a statement that you made earlier. He said, "What you get is what you have access to." I think it should be what you get is what you can see, right? Based on what DG explained and what Solomon explained, it's what you can see. By what you can see is what you have access to. So it's still the same thing, right? And then looking at the bigger picture, where like the example you cited, Emmanuel, in the health sector, right? And like Solomon has said, Microsoft is very keen on security and compliance. So whatsoever is done within the company, except maybe there is the administrator account was hacked, or maybe there is an unauthorized access, right? And even for an unauthorized user to get an unauthorized access to a Microsoft 365 account or Microsoft environment, it means maybe it's something that was done carelessly by the administrator, right? So security uptime is 99.9%, right, within the organization, and then you can only see what you have access to, right? You can only get what you have access to. So yeah, AJ and Solomon on point on that.
Thank you so much. Joshua, for that. Now, I wanted to quickly share my screen to show us the logical architecture of how the whole Copilots work based on the Microsoft Zero Trust for Copilot 365. Now, if I bring this up a bit now at this layer now, we have users and devices. Users interacting with the device, the laptop that DG was using to do the demo. Then the demo was on the Teams, the Word, the PowerPoint, and even the Outlook. So as users interacting with the device, using the applications installed on the device, now Copilot comes here And Copilot, what Copilot is interacting with is actually the Microsoft Graph itself, which is actually like the intelligent part of the Microsoft suite itself. Now, the Microsoft Graph is actually what is going into locations such as the OneDrive, the Exchange Online, the SharePoint, and the Teams. And these are based on permissions. For example, now in Exchange, for example, now the only emails or the only things Copilot is going to bring for you are the emails you're actually part of. Maybe an email that you share with somebody. The same thing goes into your OneDrive. It is only the folder that you have access to, be it folders that are personal folder to you, folder that somebody has shared with you, the files or folder that somebody has shared with you. If you don't have files that has been shared with you, the only things when you query your OneDrive using the Copilot, the only thing you see are the file that you have access to yourself. The same goes for the SharePoint itself. For the SharePoint, it is only the SharePoint sites that you have access to and the document library in those SharePoint sites that you'll be able to actually see at the end of the day. That the same goes for the team side too. When you're querying copilots in teams like this demo, it's based on either the interaction, the one-on-one chats that you have access to, or the teams, which is actually sitting on the Microsoft 365 group, and which once the teams is created, definitely a SharePoint site is also created at the back end. So those are the things that are actually working behind the scenes. So that's like the logical architecture of how the Microsoft 365 actually works. I wanted to share that too. And from the chat, Obi is saying that Copilot for Microsoft 365 is a game changer and it really makes my day works easy. Yeah, it's actually a game changer when you have a report to submit or you have things to do and you have an assistant that can help you to speed up the process. I mean, it's actually game changing. Then I think I have another question from Orlando Pekun. Okay, he's mentioning something. He's saying that if in the first chart or generated results, I like 5 page out of 10 page, is it possible for me to keep this 5 page before and combine it with another 3 page from another second search result? So DJ, from your demo, so this person is mentioning that maybe I have query Copilot, creates a 10 page slide, right? And out of the 10 page, I only like the first 5 page of the information that Copilot's provided. I didn't like the remaining five. Now, is it possible for me to keep this 5 page, then send another prompts to Copilot to produce another 3 pages, and I can combine with this current 5 page that I've kept?
Well, so what I'm going to say to that is, we it is well, we can actually try that. If it is to say, oh, the first 5 pages is what I like, and then I don't like the last 5 page. But what if in a situation whereby some information on the fifth page actually span through to the sixth page? You understand? So you can actually manually or maybe keep the first information and then generate a fresh one so that you can see information from of the sixth to the seventh page. But of course, we can actually tell Copilot, and I'm going to do that now. Say, change the information on the from the fourth page to the last page. So let's see what that gives us, because I'm also very curious to know what would happen.
Are you
So
sharing your screen,
allow me
DJ?
to share my screen again. Yes.
Okay.
So
Copilot has already made our work easier, right? But we want it to be much more easier, right? So we don't want to do it manually. So we just want to
yeah, I get
combine
what you're saying.
everything here.
So okay, so this is a document I generated. So assume I am okay with everything from here, and then I say from proposed budget is fifth page, from proposed okay, from here. So this is my concern. So for instance, the information from this page actually span through to this part. So what I think we can just do is I can say modify the evidence from successful case. And then let's see if it's going to keep the previous ones or modify informations from proposed budget to evidence from successful cases. Yeah, and the conclusion. So then let's see how that would respond to us. So I'm going to try that now. Uh, I'm actually curious to know what this will give us. Okay, so I'm saying let's see. Uh, uh, let's see what this gives. Okay, I mean, there's no harm in trying, so let's see. Okay, I think this is not referencing this particular one. Okay, yeah, I should be putting my prompt here actually. Let me do that again. Find Uh, make it small. Oh, so you see what I'm saying? So okay. Um, is it generating? Is it just going to change the proposed budget part or every other thing? This is interesting. We're almost there. Hmm. I think it's actually taking um much time now. Okay, so here's what I have discovered. You can see this is the part that we do not like, but it's actually um modified, or it has rewritten the other part also, because I know this part wasn't like this before. So okay, modules 1, 2, 3, 4. So what, I didn't confirm the content actually, but I think it has rewritten it, and then it actually did modify our proposed budget part. You can see, I think it has broken it down with further details, and then evaluation of successful cases, and then the conclusion part. So, I mean, it depends. So, what I would suggest for this situation is, if you like a particular part, and then you do not, to avoid situation whereby it regenerates something completely different from what you've seen. So why not just keep that particular session and then rephrase, so you can combine informations from the two different results? Because I also do that actually. If I'm trying to write a document or a proposal, what I do is I search with Copilot, and then once I get the first response, I pick out some information from it, and then I type in something else, I pick out information from that, and then I merge the two together myself. So this still boils down to the fact that you are actually the pilot now. Copilot is your assistant. So of course you have some work to do also. Copilot is not there to take the steering or take the wheels from you. You will be the one to make the final decision. So Copilot is there to assist. So if it has given you something and then you want it in another way, or you want something more detailed, of course there are some information from the previous one that might be helpful. So it's better to just keep that, and then I mean, that's my opinion. So I don't know, guys, maybe you can say something to that.
Well, I think basically what I would do in that scenario, based on what the question Olanipekun has, is that once I see the pages I like, I save it and keep. Then I can now open a new document again, do another prompt. Then the page I see, I can now copy and paste on the other one. So to make it easier for me. At the end of the day, I'm achieving the same goal. The Copilot is just assisting me to generate the
Absolutely.
content, right? I'm still the same person that will actually do the correction
Absolutely.
and make the final decision based on I want to use the documents. Yeah, Victor is appreciating us. He say thank you, Deji and the team, for this exposure. Please, we'll appreciate more regarding this. So I'm expecting that probably you want us to have like future session, and I'm sure we'll be back by next month also with another topic to also discuss with us, to share from everything we are learning as AI is innovating, as we are getting these AI innovations, right? We'll come here and share with us in the community. And Franca is also saying that great session, thanks. So I believe she has learned one or two things, especially from our questions regarding the difference between the Microsoft 365 Copilot and also the Copilot in Edge. Yeah. So I mean, I've learned a lot from the demo, from the explanation, and also from the exposure. So I'm also super excited for this session. Thank you so much, Stevie, for the
Right.
session.
Same
Joshua, do you have a
here.
final? Oh, Joshua just step out.
No,
Yeah.
those are just
Yeah. Do you have a final words? Yeah.
Yeah, so let me just round up on this note, because I was listening to um, the CEO of ServiceNow, that's Bill McDermott. Recently, he granted an interview, and he was emphatic about it that there is a revolution that AI is taking over. AI is about to be integrated into different industries, in the medical sector, in the healthcare, in the airline industry, several other industry. So he's of the opinion that we're going to see more and more of this. This is just like the beginning of AI solutions that we're going to. So I would advise that it is very important to um, have a great understanding of all of these things, because you would maybe start seeing some AI tools in your place of work, and then or you're expected to know how to use them. So even if you're not, an IT guru, or you're not an IT expert, so to say, there's nothing that concerns you with the back end really, but the front end that you interact with, it is very, very important that you are able to know how to use it very well. One major thing about technology is that no matter how good or how great a technology is, if you do not know how to make use of it, or if you're not using it effectively, you are not going to get the best out of it. You get what I'm saying? So it is always important that you make use of, learn how to use it so that you can get the best out of it. Also, for Copilot, we've only touched, let me say, even less than 1% of Copilot. There are prompts, there are ways you can write your prompts such that you'll be able to get much more detailed information, or much more accurate information. So those are things that is also very important that we study personally. And then to the IT, my IT colleagues out there, we just keep making research, we just keep learning more, we keep exploring new things that is being introduced. And I'm pretty sure that, it's going to be a very good one. So that's it from my end. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for the session.
Thank you, Deji. Yeah, Joshua, any final words?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
you
you.
can.
Okay, I would say thank you very much, DG. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, Solomon and the team. Thank you, everyone, for joining this session. It was a great one, right? And we all learned something new, and we learned a lot. Yeah, so as Emmanuel said earlier, much more is on the way. Stay tuned. Thank you.
I cannot wait.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I was just thinking, how people that are administrators in their organizations that will be wondering that what are the admin parts that is available for them as regards the co-pilots. So I want to quickly share my screen in case we have such people on the call. Like from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, once you have the co-pilot subscription, like did you mention, you have the Copilot tab here under your billing. And this tab basically shows you overview of the adoption that you have in your organization, like things adoption by applications, like how many applications are the users in the organization that are signed license using. So it shows you a kind of a graph, a data for you to be able to see adoption. So the total number of licenses that you have, the ones that are available and the ones that you've assigned is also available here. So you have the option to manage the licenses in case you need to actually manage the license. Then if there is any information from the Microsoft Message Center. So Microsoft Message Center is actually under the else here. You see Message Center here. So if there's any info around Copilots from there, it's actually show that to you here. And if you need to view everything on Message Center, if you click here and also click here, it takes you to this place, you're able to see other stores. And there are also resources available like the Copilot Labs, then documentations for IT admins. Then Microsoft is actually committed to responsible AI. So you'll be able to read about Microsoft commitment to responsible AI. Then the adoption of also is also available. Then for future roadmap around Copilot for Microsoft 365, things that Microsoft has in store, that URL is also available for you to actually see, okay, what is Microsoft doing so far. So thank you everyone for joining us in today's session. We are actually excited to have you, and we'll be looking forward to having future session and having you join us in the future session. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye for now.
All right, thank you. Bye, Emmanuel.
Bye.
Bye, Joshua.
Bye, DG. Bye.